Yo gamers, what's up? It's Demon 12 here in the morning. If it was actually 12 in the morning, I would anyways. So today I will say thank you for all the recent growth, very pog. But today I want to sort of go over my setup for Acheron, what I currently have and what my plans are. Just in case anybody wanted more context or more information out of the teammates video, there is related videos that I believe need to be talked about, as there's a lot of nuance to building this character. So I've actually made an infographic. If you're in the Discord, you can see it. But I don't know how much of it I can show. So I'm gonna zoom in on this just so I can like show you specifically like the whole like thought process here. I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of it actually. I don't think I can show most of it because it's like, well, you know. If you know, you know, right? Okay, so as for the characters that are best of her, right? I should have shown this on screen, but it's gonna order them kind of like this, right? This is how you would do the Nihility characters for Acheron. Maybe actually, wait, can I even show that? What? Hold on. As I'm explaining this, yeah. So these are the characters that are basically best for Acheron, and it like without question, pretty much. There's a couple of notes to talk about with Welt's obviously, and the two DOT characters being Kafka and Black Swan. But it's basically, as I said, you put those in the other team, and then Welt has a bit of issues, or you use them as a pseudo sustain if they're imaginary weak, right? And so for me, I actually do have Welt, but I don't have Silver Wolf, and I have the other dot characters, but I don't have Kafka Black Swan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be running Pella plus Gwenhyphen, combined with my Flame MC setup. I'm gonna get extra Fire Kiss stacks. So if you watch the video, I explain how it works, but basically MC forces everybody to attack her. You get the debuffs from the MC light cone that they have on, being Trinity Universal Market, and you get a bunch of stacks. So theoretically, depending on the matchup for enemies and how good my MC build is, and my build's actually coming along very nicely, I would say. I would generate like a bunch of stacks for her, and then ult like every turn, basically, is the idea. Um, as for Black Swan and Gwenhyphen, basically in every one of her setups for double Nihility, you're going to want to put your Pella on as much speed as possible with Pearl's Resolution Sweat. Now, I don't actually have that good of stats, right? Mine is only S1, so I am suffering a bit there. But my Pella's pretty well invested. I've been using her, for a while now. And the build I have here is a bit ridiculous. 160 speed on wind set, right? And it's actually like 160.5, so I meet the 161 threshold for, an extra turn. But this is a bit ridiculous, and I don't expect people to have this. I just randomly went and got it at like one day of grinding relics, because I had some spare wind ones with a lot of speed. But I'm actually thinking about changing this to something more practical and tanky, because this doesn't really help her too much. I was testing it, not doing too much, I'd say, but it's here nor there. But obviously you're gonna build all of your characters with more speed than her, and that's sort of the problem I have with the MCs. The MC has low base speed, and so it's kind of hard for me to roll speed substats while getting all other defensive stats for the MC to actually make her be well. It's a very high investment build. As for Gwenhyphen, my Gwenhyphen is basically unleveled. She's got the same goofy setup that I have on her with Wind. Again, I kind of intend to change this, and she's only at E2. Now, keep in mind, Gwenhyphen's been free for this update, so you can just pick her up. There's not really too much of a barrier to entry. The main thing here is you want to level up her Fire Kiss thing. This is where all the damage percent will come from. Or damage taken will come from. And then you'll put her on the event light cone. In the video, I do talk about multiple times how you're kind of out of luck if you don't have this light cone, and you are. If you stack this on any of these Nihility characters, right? If you put it on any of the other Nihility characters next to one that has Defense Shred, you can now enable your other Nihility characters that don't have Defense Shred to apply their debuff more, right? Which is why this is on Gwenhyphen instead of a damaging light cone. Because now Gwenhyphen will get her ult up faster, and I can get another debuff application off, right? So that's why you want this light cone, is to put it on the other character instead of running like a 2-turn Pella or like a 1-turn what's her name? A Silver Wolf, right? You could get better application by putting on another character. And so that's what you would do here. And that's basically the setup. Not too complicated from there. I'm trying to get effect hit rate thresholds for all three of these characters so that I can guarantee the taunt, right? And stuff like that. So yeah, and then in terms of Acheron builds, I only have this because, spoiler warning, there is a new set. So I would, and unless you've got a really good Stellato set, like the ultimate damage set, I would just do this and then save your daily or your weekly tokens, right, the week before the update, so that you can go into the update with 8, right? Make sure you do that. It will be helpful for farming up this character, right? That's what I'm gonna do. And the actual build I have, not too bad, all things considered. With this team, I'm gonna get 130 crit rate and or 139 crit rate and crit damage in battle. With the buff up, it's 48. So I'm doing pretty good for not having the best subs, right? This is like all crit rate here. This didn't roll too well, went all straight HP. This one rolled okay, but again, like, the crit's the only thing that matters here. And then this one also rolled like full crit. So I'm not too upset, but obviously all these pieces could be better. Hopefully the new set rolls well for me. I have a lot of room to actually like expand the build. Considering I'd get like what, plus 12 crit rate, so I'd be at 60 crit rate with just the set itself active. So that's pretty damn good, right? Without any subs from the other two pieces. So that's pretty good. See, that's basically that. And let me make sure that the Hoyo spies, right? Gotta watch out for the Hoyo spies. Let me explain the sustains real quickly. So in terms of the sustain characters, right? A lot of people are probably caught up on like what sustain to use, and I think that's totally fair. So basically it goes like this. Depending on the setup and matchup, right? The MC is technically the best one because you can get the most stacks. So theoretically, you can spam your ultimate more, right? That's the idea there. Gallagher changed since I dropped that video for the good. He's great, and in fact better off now with the changes, right? And he will obviously, as I said, most likely be free, right? Just saying. So nobody should be worried about the sustain. You'll just have to build another character by the time the update's out, right? You can pre-farm for Acheron now, not for Gallagher, so keep that in mind. And then Aventurine, I mean, I said nothing. I said nothing. Just maybe you want E2 S1. I said nothing. As for everybody else, they're basically in this tier 2 category that I've set up because of they don't really provide anything for her, which is why these guys are up here. Fushuan is slightly better because of the crit, and then Japard has ways to apply debuffs plus that specific light cone, but again, it's gonna be like consistency's sake. Japard is better for survivability, but you won't have as much debuff uptime as the MC, right? And so that's mainly why I ordered them like this. If anybody was wondering, it's like, oh, why is Japard not better? It's just an uptime thing. These two are really interchangeable. Japard is arguably more practical than the MC, right? So keep that in mind, basically. And then everyone else, like the 4 stars, everyone else is down here, right, is because they don't do anything for her. The only reason I'd say you could put like Locha and Ho-Ho up here is like skill points and then attack, but the energy is useless, and then they don't provide anything else. So yeah, I wouldn't use them over like any other option. March is arguably better than some of the other 4 stars because she can freeze, but again, it's like you're running a very weak defensive character versus one that could guarantee you a debuff, right? And then also be just as defensive as running March. So like Flame MC, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but Flame MC is like just better than like whatever March could do basically. And so yeah, that's about that. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say. Thank you for watching. See you next time.